Shalom, Israelites. This is Yakanai Eliezer. And to my immediate right is
Yaki in the building. Shalom, family. All praise to the Most High in the name of His only begotten Son. Long live the King of Israel.
Long live the King. We're here in STL Israelites, up under the order of Melchizedek, also with the sect of the Nazarenes. We're here to speak on going through fire of the soul. Going through fire of the soul. Yesterday we had a topic that we had put out there to the World Wide Web regarding how to be a Hebrew. You know, you're not just a Hebrew by blood. You know, you're a Hebrew, in your mind, in your spirit, in your soul. And there's a difference, from being a Hebrew, just thinking that you're a Hebrew or in the blood.
Right.
But there's a difference. You have to be a Hebrew in your actions and your thought patterns.
Most definitely.
And when certain Hebrews went through certain trials and tribulations, what was going on through their mind? What was they thinking about? How did they grasp the concept of going further? And they was up under some trials that could have took their lives, or they was probably already, in the fiery flames or something like that. What was they thinking? How did they survive? Was it just because, they believed in God and that's it? Or was their faith strong? Was their faith strong enough for them to go through that fire? Well, this is a fire within your soul, when no one's around, when the darkness is developed around you, and there's fire, there's burning, pain, sensation within inside your soul. How do you survive that? How can you survive that? We're going to go to Romans 8, and we want to start this off by a letter to the Romans that Paul had wrote. And he was basically letting these Romans, these Hebrew Israelite Romans, have a mindset as well. And this is a mindset that I believe that all of us should have. Let me go to Romans 8, brother.
Yeah, Romans 8. Well, you want me to start at Hebrew?
28 on down.
All right. Romans chapter 8, verse 28. Verse 28. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are called according to His purpose.
So we know that whatever going on in your life, it's a good thing. All things work together for the good of God. So just because you don't know the reason why things are going on in your life, the only thing that you should be thinking about, or the only thing that you should be worried about, is like, hey, the Most High's will. This is what He wants. Go ahead.
Verse 29. For whom He did foreknew, He also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of His Son.
Yes. So he already knew who He was going to call. It was predestinated. He wants to develop us, not just in our bodies, but in our minds, in our souls, to be like how a son is. Go ahead, please.
That He might be the firstborn among many brethren. Verse 30. Moreover, whom He did predestinate, them He also called. And whom He called, them He also justified. And whom He justified, them He also glorified.
All praises to the Most High Power. One day we're gonna be glorified. But He had called us. And when you hear that word, when you hear His word, when you hear that message within inside your heart and within inside your mind, we have to drop everything. Everything. Go ahead.
Verse 31. What shall we then say to these things? If God be for us, who can be against us?
That's right.
He that spared not His own Son, but delivered Him up for us all, how shall He not with Him also freely give us all things? Who shall lay anything to the charge of God's elect?
That's right.
It is God that justifieth.
Yes, sir. Keep going.
Verse 34. Who is he that condemneth? It is Christ that died, ye rather that is risen again, who is even at the right hand of God, who also maketh intercession for us.
So while we going through whatever we going through, the only thing that we can do is do what Christ did. Cry out to His Father. The only thing that we can do is cry out to Christ, because he had experienced certain things while he was walking on in his life. He had experienced hunger, he had experienced pain. He had experienced sleeping out there, in the wilderness. He had experienced not having a house. He experienced, a lot of things that we ourselves as Hebrew Israelites that are trying to be like Christ, that are trying to be, as the Bible would say, Christians, But we are trying to achieve that elect, to be elected, we are trying to achieve, what Christ achieved. Go ahead.
Verse 35. Who shall separate us from the love of Christ?
Who?
Who shall separate us from the love of Christ? Shall tribulation or distress or persecution or famine or nakedness or peril or sword?
So Paul is asking the question, he's like, who can separate us, the Hebrews, the Abris? Who can separate us from the love of Christ? Go ahead. Verse
36, as it is written, for thy sake we are killed all the day long. We are counted as sheep for the slaughter.
Yes, sir.
Nay, in all these things we are more conquerors through him that loved us.
So now we know, all the things that Paul was saying regarding tribulation, distress, persecution, all these things we are conquerors of. However, you first have to believe, you first have to have that faith that you can conquer all these things. It's easier said than done. For we're used to going through certain things or whatever and picking up a bottle, picking up some cigarettes, picking up some weed, picking up a woman. We're easy to try to pass, to lay over our pains and our hurts with something else. That's what we're used to doing. That's when we were in the world. Now we have crossed over. We are now Hebrews, not just physically, but we got to be Hebrews in our minds. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 38. For I am persuaded that neither death nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor powers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor height, nor depth, nor any other creature, nor any other creature shall be able to separate us from the love of God, which is in Hamashiach Yahushua or Adonai.
That's right. So now Paul was basically giving these Roman Israelite Hebrews some ammunition for when they are in their walk, their day-to-day walk, and things might arise, things might occur. That is basically, out of left field. How to deal with it.
Most definitely.
And how you deal with it is basically saying, hey, it is what it is. Whatever's going on or whatnot, I still have orders that I have to do.
Most definitely.
I still am a Hebrew Israelite that has already crossed over. Let's go to Genesis 2:7. So we can get an understanding real quick on the soul. Yeah,
It's crazy, the concept, man, of basically just the concept of being born again. Everybody saying I'm born again, Christian.
Yeah.
I'm super saved and I'm born again. I'm a new creature.
Right.
And it all goes back, the origin of it goes back to the very title that we are.
Most definitely.
The
Hebrew Israelites.
Prince of the power was crossed over from beyond. Was passed over. You feel me? Not from her. You can just be on some, I live above now. I don't live below.
Yeah.
I done conquered my lower fleshly, animalistic desires.
Most definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right. That's right.
All that, man. How beautiful is in the very title we call us.
Yeah.
You know, dang, okay.
Definitely.
Make you want to rock this thing righteously.
That's right. That's right.
And it's dope that you brought out that Romans 8 because it showed us that Paul laid down the blueprint.
That's right.
He like, look, you finna go through persecution, you finna go through this, you finna go through that. But he made it was kind of like he was sarcastic. He like, okay, we going through all this stuff. So what? For any creature, for a woman, for distress, when I'm supposed to turn my back on, I'm supposed to abandon posts? Like, heaven no. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's right.
That lets you know there's no excuse.
That's right. That's right.
No excuse.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so Genesis 2:7. And this is when the first man was created. and he was formed out of the dust of the ground. Go ahead, brother.
Genesis 2, verse 7. Genesis 2, verse 7. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life.
What did he do?
Breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. And man became a living soul.
And he became what?
A living soul.
So what the Most High did, he formed a man from earth. And then he breathed into him his essence, you know, saying his breath, you know. And that man, from being a body and from the breath, he became a living soul. He became conscious.
Most definitely.
He has awoken, you know. He is alive now. When that breath leaves you and your body goes back into the dust, your soul is still going to be conscious. This is what I'm talking about regarding the fire of your soul. When you're going through something in this world, even though we're all from above, we're from beyond, we're from above, we're aliens to this planet, to this vibration. We still are going through things that everybody else goes through. How do we deal with it? Who can we call upon, you know what I'm saying, to be like, hey, my soul is hurt. Can we call a doctor?
Not for that soul, boy.
It's something that when we go up under the rod, we have to deal with it by ourselves. However, being Hebrews, we have a power that we can call upon.
Most definitely.
We have a Father that we can ask for help. Just like when Peter was walking on water, and he looked away from Christ. What did he do? He said, "Help." Christ helped him. All right, we're gonna go to Ecclesiastes 7:3. We're just trying to basically put the groundwork for the topic at hand. You know, a lot of us are going through diversities in life. Some of us do have brothers around us to encourage us. Others don't. You know, in all actuality, you know, all praise the Most High Power that I'm around a bunch of brothers that is deep, you know what I'm saying, with the word, and not just deep in reading and stuff like that. However, you know, in our actions in their actions as well. And and when in Rome, what you do what the Romans do. So all praises to the Most High Power. We're gonna go to Ecclesiastes 7 and verse 3. And this is one of the wisest, dumbest mans alive, I believe. You know, Solomon. He wrote this. I know some of y'all might appreciate me saying that, you know. But you know, when you're wise, you know, you have to act accordingly. I don't think that he did. However, that's not for me to judge. You got it, brother?
Yeah, I got it. Let me start at 1 here, bro.
Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 1. A good name is better than precious ointment in the day of death than the day of one's birth. It is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting.
Why is that? Why is that? Go ahead.
For that is the end of all men, and the living will lay it to his heart. Sorrow is better than laughter.
What's that?
Sorrow is better than laughter.
Go ahead.
For by the sadness of his countenance, the heart is made better.
Yeah, I got this revelation, you know what I'm saying, from someone a long time ago. And, you know, that it was really profound. You know, we laugh and giggle and stuff like that. However, when you're going through something, when you're crying about something, when your soul is in pain, when your soul is hurting, it tends to give you something that can help you not to go through that again. It gives you wisdom. Go ahead, read on, brother.
Verse 4. The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of the fools is in the house of mirth. It is better to hear the rebuke of the wise than for a man to hear the song of fools. For the crackling of thorns under a pot, so is laughter of the fool. This is also vanity. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. Better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof. And the patience is in spirit is better than the proud in spirit.
That's it. Verse 8 says, better is the end of the thing than the beginning thereof. Because 9 times out of 10, everybody wants to start off all good, you know what I'm saying? Put your best feet forward, you know what I mean? But how does it end? You know, how does it end? How is it going to end? You know, when we start this walk, when we was born into sin. However, it's right over there, brother.
Right over there,
However, when we leave this planet, you know what I'm saying? It's on the floor, brother. When we leave this planet, when we leave this realm, I mean, you know, that's the end of what we're going on right now. So it's better for the ending than for the beginning. Why is that? Why is that? We're going to find out. Let's go to let's go to Ezra 9, 1 through 3. Again, going through the fire of the soul. What happens to a man when he's going through something? How do you act? How can you act? What do you do? Do you give up everything? Do you sit down and cry in your room, feel sorry for yourself? Or do you envelop it? Let it envelop you.
And go harder.
As my brother said. You know, when negative things starts catching up to you, guess what you was doing? You was walking. Go ahead, brother.
We're in the book of Ezra, chapter 9 right here, bro.
Yes, sir.
Verse 1. Now when these things were done, the princes came to me, saying, the people of Israel and the priest and the Levites have not separated themselves from the people of the lands, doing according to their abomination.
So this is a Hebrew Israelite man speaking, Ezra, and he's letting someone know that hey, you know, the Hebrews are our brothers and sisters. They haven't separated themselves, you know what I'm saying, from the occupants of this land. The Most High already told us, you know what I'm saying, don't mix with these cats, you know what I'm saying, don't even fool with them, you know what I mean. I'm not their God, I ain't dealing with them, I'm dealing with y'all. So if y'all go deal with them, y'all deal with them according to my word. Go ahead.
Even of the Canaanites, the Hittites, and the Perizzites, and the Jebusites, and the Ammonites, and the Moabites, and the Egyptians, and the Amorites, for they have taken of their daughters for themselves, and for their sons, so that the holy seed have mingled themselves with the people of those lands. Yeah, the hand of the princes and rulers have been chief in this trespass. And when I heard this thing, I rent my garment.
He did what?
I rent my garment.
So he's the brother Ezra. He hearing these things, you know. And the Most High done already told us not to deal with these other nations, not to mingle with them, you know what I'm saying, within our flesh and stuff like that. And he hear these things. Why would he go? Why would he rent his garments? What would make a man tear his clothes off? What would make a person, you know, like those sick people, you know what I mean, when they're feeling so much pain in their heart, in their mind, they want to burn themselves. Why would a Hebrew Israelite man, you know, rent his clothes? Go ahead.
And when he heard this thing, I rent my garment. And when I heard this thing, I rent my garment and my mantle, and plucked off the hair of my head and of my beard, and sat down astonished.
So now, here we go. When you're going through the fire of some things, you know, in your heart and your mind, that nobody can see. They'll see your actions. You know, he's going through so much that he had to literally rent his clothing. He had to literally pull out his hair and pluck his beard. He was going through the fire of the soul.
And notice it didn't say cut, it said pluck, like he's straight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So he's going through the fire of his soul. Something that a person can't quench with just water, with water. It speaks about the Holy Spirit being no, Christ is it can give you the living water. You know, he can have your belly water come out your belly. You know, the living water and stuff like that. Where's that the script at? You know that?
John 7.
John 7? Yeah, John chapter 7. You know what I'm talking about. So when he did this, because he just heard about the children of Israel going off what the Most High said, he rent his clothes. Why? Because what? Let's go to Job 1 and 20 real quick. We're going to go to our brother Job. And like I said, going through the fire of the soul, what do you do? How can you go on? Do you burn? Do you give up? What do you do? When you're going through something in your life that's just so traumatic and stuff like that, that you don't know what to do. What do you do? Job 1 and 20, brother.
The book of Job, chapter 1, verse 20. Then Job arose and rent his mantle and shaved his head.
He did what?
And shaved his head and fell down upon the ground and worshipped.
So Job, he heard all these things that happened to his children, to his livestock, to his house, his everything. The devil came and took everything from him. Everything from him. And the only thing that he could do was read that script over again, brother.
Job 1 verse 20. Then Job arose and rent his mantle and shaved his head and fell down upon the ground and worshipped.
So after all this stuff that happened with Job, our brother, he rent his clothes, he shaved his head, and he fell down and worshiped the Most High. After all that, that's what Job did. Let's go to James 1, chapter 1, verse 2 and 4. Again, brothers and sisters, we're trying to get an understanding on what do we do? How do we survive the fire of our souls when we're going through something that came out of left field? You know, how do we survive that? You know, we're walking this path. It's not an easy walk. You know, we got our full armor on, and something comes out of nowhere that is dramatic and just cuts you to your soul. What do you do? How do you survive that? How do you continue? Let's read James chapter 1, verse 2 and 4, brother. You can start at 1 if you want.
Yeah, I'm going to start at 1. Book of James, chapter 1, verse 1. James, a servant of God and of the Lord, Hamashiach Yahushua, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad. Greetings. My brethren, count it all joy.
Do what?
Count it all joy when ye fall into divers temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. But let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, want nothing.
So basically what the scripture is saying is this. When you're going through something, count it joy. Because whatever you're going through, when you get through it, when you cross over it, when you get beyond it, you can be a better creature. You can be a better Hebrew.
You're a certified brew.
Kind. You're gonna go through something from point A to point B. You have to go through something. You got to cross over something to get to B.
Right.
It's that journey in there, right in there, from point A to point B, that develops you to where as you get to B, you can get to C now.
Right. I mean, I never heard of a warrior with no war wounds.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
Fire, baby.
Chronicles 15, 7 through 9.
Chronicles.
Yeah, then we go get into this book of Jasher. Yeah, we read everything. You know what I mean? However, everything meaning everything according to what the script is, and if it doesn't align with the script, we throw it out. certain things, you know, will eat the meat and spit out the bone. However, you know, we believe in the Bible, everything in it, and the need for us to believe in that is because of the things that are going on inside this world that we living in. However, we're not from this world. You know what I mean? We're from beyond. We're from above.
Hebrews.
You know, we're Hebrews, Israelites.
Right.
You know. All praises to the Most High and His only begotten Son.
All praises.
Well, yeah.
All right, where we at, Hebrew?
2 Chronicles 15, 7 through 9. Again, what do you do when the devil kicks you in your balls and punch you in your stomach? You know, what do you do when something that you would not have thought that could happen happens, and now the rug is pulled from up under you? How do you stand? What do you do? Go ahead, brother. Let's read.
You said 2 Chronicles chapter 15, start at 7, Hebrew.
Yes, sir.
Verse 7. Be ye strong, therefore, and let not your hands be weak, for your work shall be rewarded. And when Asa heard these words and the prophecies of Adad, the prophet, he took courage, and he put away the abominable idols.
He did what?
And he put away the abominable idols out of all the land of Yehoiada and Benjamin, and out of the cities which he had taken from Ephraim, and renewed the altar of the Lord that was before the porch of the Lord. And he gathered all Judah and Benjamin, and the strangers within out of Ephraim and Manasseh, and out of Simeon, for they fell to him out of Israel in abundance, when they saw that the Lord his God was with him.
So Asaiah, what he did, he grabbed some idols, you know what I'm saying, that was in the land of Judah and Benjamin. You know, we already know, you know what I'm saying, as being Hebrews. You know what I mean? We ain't fooling with that stuff over there. We ain't dealing with none of that stuff over there. And we don't need it in our land, in our physical land. Certain people, you know what I'm saying, of today, we have idols that we worship other gods, but we don't have idols like, you know, a fat Buddha or something like that. We have idols in our mind. You know what I'm saying? We are serving different gods, and we might not even be aware of it. Or we might even be aware of it. However, idols can be a physical thing, or it could be an idol, you know what I'm saying, within inside your own mind. Let's go to
you say anything that you worshiping that ain't Yahweh, huh?
That's right. That's right. Anything that you are putting above the Most High, that's an idol, man. That's an idol. 1 Samuel 15 and 23. We are Hebrews. We have crossed over. And not just because, you know, we are Hebrews by blood doesn't mean that you go get saved. You know, when the fire and brimstone comes raining down or whatever, now how are we gonna be saved? Then He's gonna know us by the seal on our foreheads. Why is there a seal on your forehead? There's a seal on your mind. You know, it's the way you think and how you think that needs to be sealed. Because this body, this flesh is gonna burn one day. It's not gonna burn. I mean, it's gonna die. It's gonna go away. It's gonna wither.
Worm food.
Yeah. However, what goes on with your mind? Where your mind gonna be at? Where your soul at? You know, and while our body is gonna dissipate, deteriorate. Excuse me. You know what I'm saying? We some unlearned brews out here. You know what I'm saying? Ain't past 8th grade. However, the Most High, you know what I'm saying, give us all knowledge.
Unlearned in his English.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, 1 Samuel 15 verse 23, bro.
Yeah, we need ordeal for that. The Hebrew ordeal with the vernacular.
No doubt.
All right, 1 Samuel chapter 15 verse 23. For rebelling is as the sin of witchcraft.
Ooh, for what?
For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is an iniquity of idolatry. Because thou have rejected the word of the Lord, and have also rejected thee from being king.
So now we know that rebellion is like witchcraft. And what else does it say, brother?
Stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry.
So when you're stubborn, when you're going through what you're going through inside your own soul, and you don't want to, and you know that you have to do something, but you don't want to do it. That's like idolatry. Mm-hmm. You know that this is what you have to do. This is what the Most High put upon you to do. After you done got hit from left field, you're going through something already, and you don't want to do it.
Yeah, rejecting reproof and correction.
That's right, brother. You don't want to do it. That's a form of idolatry. Why is that? All right, let's get in the book of Jasher. We're going to read about a brother. Actually, our forefathers. Abram. People call him Abraham. We go to the book of Jasher, chapter 11. Chapter 11. Let's start at hold on. We'll go. Excuse me, brothers. The book of Jasher, chapter 8, verse 1 through 4, and we'll go to 11. Again, going through the fire of the soul. How do you get through it? How do you deal with it? Do you let it break you down? Do you just give up hope? We already read in Romans 8, verse 28 on down, what Paul told the Romans, the Hebrews that was in Rome. Nothing should be able to separate us from the love of Yahweh, from the love of God, from the love of His Son Yahweh Shah as well. Nothing should be able to separate us from that. So when you're going through your fiery trials, and this is not something that like, I can't pay my rent today or this or that. Nah, I ain't even talking about that, man. You just worrying about some stuff that really doesn't have nothing to do with anything. However, we're talking about, that stuff that you don't even want to tell nobody. The stuff that makes your stomach hurt to whereas you can't even eat. We're talking about that. We're talking about where if you start thinking about it, you want to cry. And you're a man. We're talking about that. What do you do? How do you deal with it? Going through the fire of the soul. Chapter 8. Joshua chapter 8, brother.
Yeah, Jasher. The book of Jasher chapter 8. And for those who don't know, this is the book of Jasher right here. The scripture backs it up. You got 2 Samuel 1 and 18, and you got 2 Timothy 3 and 8, and you got Joshua 10, 13. All speaks about Jasher and tells you to go read it.
That's right.
All right, book of Jasher chapter 8, verse 1.
Yes, sir.
And it was in the night that Abram was born, that all the servants of Terah and all the wise men of Nimrod and his conjurers came and ate and drank in the house of Terah, and they rejoiced with him on that night.
So this is Abraham being born. You can see Nimrod's there. Abram's daddy was there, Terah. And this is the night that he's born. Hey, my son is born. I got a son that's born. Y'all come over here and fellowship. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 2. And when all the wise men and conjurers went out from the house of Terah, they lift up their eyes toward heaven that night to look at the stars. And they saw, and behold, one very large star came from the east and ran in the heavens. And he swallowed up the 4 stars from the 4 sides of the heaven.
So we got these conjurers, these people that be looking at the moons and stars and stuff like that or whatever. And they just finished leaving, Terah, Abram's father's house, celebrating the birth of Abram. And they look up and they see, a star, flying across the sky and taking out a bunch of other stars. They like thinking to themselves, what the hell is this? What's going on here? Go ahead, read, brother.
Verse 3. And all the wise men of the kings and all his conjurers were astonished at the sight. And the sages understood this matter, and they knew its import. And they said to each other, this only betokens the child that has been born of Terah this night, who will grow up and be fruitful and multiply and possess all the earth, he and his children forever, and he and his seed will slay great kings and inherit their land.
So now the conjurers that are Nimrod's conjurers, Nimrod's already king, you know what I'm saying? He was a wicked bastard as well, but he's a king already. And these conjurers was basically like saying, hey, that little joker right there, that little short leg right there, when he grows up, all this is gonna happen. You know, he gonna be a great man, he gonna have many children, and his children gonna kill all the kings, and he's gonna do what?
He said he's gonna inherit their land.
He's gonna possess all the earth. You know, this is what the conjurer's saying on the night that Abram was born. Let's go on to continue with the story in chapter 11.
We're gonna start Abram.
Chapter 11, verse 31.
Book of Joshua, chapter 11, verse 31. And in the evening of that day, in the house of Abram, was clothed with the Spirit of God. And he called out and said, woe unto my father in this wicked generation, whose heart are all inclined to vanity, who serve these idols of wood and stone, which can neither eat, smell, hear, nor speak, who have mouths without speech, eyes without sight, ears without hearing, hands without feeling, and legs which cannot move. Like them are those that made them, and that trust in them.
So Abraham is at his father's house, and he's in a spirit, and he basically saying, woe unto my father and his house, with all these damn idols, with all these gods that can't do nothing for you. This is what Abram's saying. He's in the spirit. Mind you, before that, Abram had to go, you know, to his grandfather and to his great grandfather Seth and Noah, because the king wanted to kill him, because the conjurers had told the king Nimrod that, hey, that little dude that you just was visiting over Terah's house, Abram's the little baby, you know that dude? Yeah, when he grow up, he gonna be a great king, and he gonna kill all kings, and he gonna possess the whole earth. So when they told him that, he basically told Terah, hey, I need to kill your son. So Terah had another child killed in place of Abram, and then Abram went to a cave and hid out, you know what I'm saying, with his peoples. However, Abram was with his peoples, Noah, Seth, and he was getting taught, you know, the words of the Most High. Shem, yeah. He was getting taught the words of the Most High. And then Abram comes back to his father's house. He sees all these idols, and the Spirit of the Lord comes upon him. This is what he does.
Verse 33. And when Abram saw all these things, his anger was kindled against his father. And he hasted and took a hatchet in his hand and came into the chamber of the gods. And he broke all his father's gods. And when he had done breaking the images, he placed the hatchet in the hand of the great God, which was there before them. And he went out, and Terah's father came home, for he had heard at the door the sounds of the striking of the hatchet. So
Abram up in his father's business, you know what I'm saying, busted all these idols, you know, tore them all down. And then there was a big idol. There was the biggest idol, you know, and he put the hatchet that Abram used, he put it into the hand of that God. Go ahead, brother.
At the door, in the sound of the striking of the hatchet. So Terah came into the house to know what this was about. And Terah, having heard the noise of the hatchet in the room of images, ran to the room to the images, and met Abram going out. And Terah entered the room and found all the idols fallen down and broken, and the hatchet in the hand of the largest, which was not broken, and the savory meat which Abram his son had made was still before them.
So Abraham comes up out the room, and his father goes into the room, and he sees all this. He sees everything that Abram had did. Now, mind you, you know, these gods that Abram's father was making, you know, Abram wasn't supposed to destroy them. You know, these were their gods. You know, this was the King Nimrod's land. And Terah, was most likely making gods and idols, for the king and for the people of the land. These were their gods. And Abram knew the Most High. Remember, he was with Seth and Noah for many, many years. Grew up on it. From Shem, excuse me, I keep saying Seth. Shem and Noah for many, many years. And then he comes back to his father's house and he sees all this abomination and stuff like that. So he goes off. He's in the spirit of the Lord. He's in the spirit of the Lord, and he tears these idols down. Abram knew what his actions what was going to happen because of his actions. Did he care? No, he did not. Obviously. Let's go to the book of Jasher, chapter 12, and let's finish reading on what's going on.
All right, tell me what started Hebrew.
Chapter 12, verse 1.
Jasher 12:1. And when the king heard the words of Abram, he ordered him to be put into prison. And Abram 10 days in prison. And at the end of those days, the king ordered that all the kings, princes, and governors of different provinces and of sages should come before him. And they sat before him, and Abram was still in the house of the confinement. And the king said to the princes and sages, have you heard what Abram, the son of Terah, have done to his father? So the king brings Abram, because Terah go tell, on Abram. Basically snitched on the son, And Abram goes in front of the king Nimrod and basically let him know what it was, that them gold, that silver, that wood can't talk. It can't do nothing for you. Those idols that you can see cannot talk. We as Hebrew Israelites of today, those idols that other brothers and sisters cannot see, that's within inside your mind, can't do nothing for you. No thing for you. Mm-hmm. And so the king Nimrod, he calls everybody and be like, hey, did y'all hear what this nigga did? Go ahead, brother. Thus has he done to him, and I ordered him to be brought before me. And thus had he spoken. His heart did not misgive him, neither did he stare in my presence. And behold, now he is confined in the prison. And therefore decide what judgment is due to this man who revealed the king, who spoke and did all the things that you heard. And they all answered the king, saying, the man who revealeth the king should be hung upon a tree. But having done all the things that he said, and having despised our gods, he must therefore be burnt to death. For this is the law of this matter.
So like I said, Abram knew, what was going to happen to him by him doing that. He knew it. When we as Hebrews, Israelites in this world, we know, we read earlier, count it all joy, when certain things come upon you. Count it all joy. It ain't just because we know that things ain't gonna fall out too good, if we do this, as long as we're doing what the Most High asks us to do, as long as we do what the Most High tells us to do.
There you go.
There it is there. Who cares about, what's going to happen next? As long as I'm doing what the Most High tells me to do. And that's what Abraham's thought pattern was. His thought pattern. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 6. If it pleases the king to do this, let him order his servants to kindle a fire, both night and day, in the brick furnace. And then we will cast this man into it. And the king did so. And he commanded his servants that they should prepare a fire for 3 days and 3 nights in the king's furnace, and that is in Kasdan. And the king ordered them to take Abram from the prison and bring him out to be burned.
So now the king, hey, light a fire, get that fire ready. For 3 days and 3 nights, that fire was going. 3 days and 3 nights. And as you can see, you know, all through the scriptures, there's a lot of 3 days and 3 nights, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. But those are different lessons and whatnot. But on this one right here, they start at the furnace for 3 days and 3 nights. And then they take Abram to go get burnt. But they didn't not just take Abram, they took also, you know, his brother. And we're going to find that out in verse 21. Can you jump down to verse 21? Mm-hmm. All the way to 31.
21 through 31?
Yes, sir.
All right, in verse 21, chapter 12, verse 21. And they brought them both, Abram and Haran, his brother, to cast them into the fire, and all the inhabitants of the land, and the king's servant, and princes, and all the women and little ones were there, standing that day over them. And the king's servants took Abram and his brother, and they stripped them of all their clothes, accepting their lower garments which were upon them. And they bound their hands and feet with linen cords. And the servants of the king lifted them up and cast them both into the furnace.
So now we having a big old lynching, so to speak. You know, all the people are here. They got the little children is around. You know, they selling ices. You know, whatever they doing out there, but they about to watch. You know, what I'm saying, 2 people get burnt in a furnace. You know, go ahead, brother.
Verse 24. And the Lord loved Abram, and he had compassion.
And the Lord did what?
Loved Abram, and he had compassion over him. And the Lord came down and delivered Abram from the fire, and he was not burned. But all the cords with which they bound him were burned.
So all the cords that they bound our father Abraham was burnt off while he was sitting up in that fiery furnace. You know, all the things that binded him, you know, was burnt. The Most High looked at him. He loved him. Why did he love him? Because he was doing what he was supposed to be doing. Mm-hmm. That's why he loved him. That's how he showed love. That's how Abram showed love to the Father. You know, the Father loved us first. How would he show love to the Father? By doing what he asked us to do. And then, guess what? We could be like his son. We are like his son. So he's going to deliver us from whatever we're going through. We have to believe that. That right there, you know what I'm saying, is what happened with Abram. Abram bust these damn idols down. Let his father know what it was. Then he went to the king and let him know what it was. And then he got thrown into the fiery furnace. And guess what? The Most High let Abram know what it was. Go ahead, brother.
While Abram remained and walked about in the fire, and Haran died.
He did what?
And Haran died.
Ooh.
When they had cast him into the fire, and he was burned to ashes, for his heart was not perfect with the Lord.
Stop right there, brother, real quick. Now, your heart, your mind. You know, when we say our heart, you know, we ain't talking about this right here. We talking about our mind, our souls. You know, you remember the Most High breathed into man and he became a living soul. He was conscience. So his conscience, Haran, Abram's brother, his conscience, he was on shaky ground. You know, he was on shaky ground. You know, when you're going through that fire of your soul, you can't be on shaky grounds. Because anything, you know what I'm saying, might happen to whereas you can be destroyed. You know, your mind can snap. Do you really think that the devil is out here playing fair? Do you really think that the devil gives a damn about what you're going through? He the one that put you through it. Either you're going through punishment or it's a test. Whatever it is, Jack, you have to go through it. If it's a punishment, pray to the Most High, you know what I'm saying, that you live through it. If it's a test, stand there. Stand there, be still. Continue to pray. Continue to cry out. Continue. Because the Most High hears your moaning and your groaning within inside yourselves. As long as you're doing what the Most High asks you to do, you could be like Abram. Get whatever's binding you. Get that burnt away. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 26 again. And Haran died, and when they had cast him into the fire, and he was burned to ashes, for his heart was not perfect with the Lord. And those men of the fire spread over them, and they were burned, and 12 men of them died. That's a hot fire, boy.
So sometimes, you know what I'm saying, what you going through, other men can't go through. You know, other men can't go through. That's why certain things, you know, you have to cry out to the Father, because only the Father can save you when you're going through your perilous times. Your brothers, you know what I'm saying, yeah, they there. You know what I mean? Man, look, my brothers out here in St. Louis, in the STL, they will comfort you. And how are they going to comfort you? By saying, hey, Brian, we been through it. Keep going harder. Pick your lip up and let's go. And then if you still dragging your feet or whatever not, they will laugh at you. They will mock you. I'm the #1 candidate for mocking people. You know what I'm saying? So they will mock you. You know what I mean? Go ahead, read on, brother.
Verse 27.
Yes, sir.
And Abram walked in the midst of the fire.
He did what?
He walked in the midst of the fire for 3 days.
How long?
3 days and 3 nights. And all the servants of the king saw him walking in the fire. And they came and told the king, saying, Behold, we have seen Abram walking about in the midst of the fire, and even the lower garments which were upon him are not burned, but the cord with which he was bound is burned.
So even his lower garments, hiding his testicles, hiding his balls, was not burned.
They astonished. They like, man, what is going on?
Yeah. And he's walking around in 3 days. So Abraham was so strong. And a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, be saying, oh, I got the faith of Abram. Nah, man, you ain't got the faith of Abram. You know what I'm saying? You probably ain't got the faith of one of his sheep that he had. You know, one of his sheep. Because Abram, you know what I'm saying, was a righteous, strong Hebrew man that many nations came out of, including ourselves. You know, including ourselves. So the things that bound Abram, but the thing that covered his nakedness, the thing that bound Abram was burnt. The thing that covered his nakedness was not burnt.
Yeah, that's a spiritual meaning right there in itself.
Read on, brother.
Verse 28. And when the king heard their words, his heart fainted, and he would not believe them. So he sent other faithful princes to see this matter. And they went and saw it, and they told it to the king. And the king rose to go and see it. And he saw Abram walking to and fro in the midst of the fire. And he saw Haran's body burnt. And the king wondered greatly. And the king ordered Abram to be taken out of the fire. And his servants approached to take him out of the fire, and they could not. For the fire was round about, and the flame was exceeding towards them from the furnace. And the king's servants fled from it. And the king rebuked them, saying, Make haste and bring Abram out of the fire, that you should not die. And the servants of the king again approached it to bring Abram out. And the flames came upon them and burnt their faces, so that 8 of them died. And when the king saw...
That's it. You know, you can finish reading that out, brother.
And when the king saw that his servants could not approach the fire, lest they should be burned, then king called to Abram, O servant of the God who is in heaven, go forth amidst the fire and come hither before me. And Abram hearkened to the voice of the king, and he went forth from the fire and came and stood before the king.
So Abram's in the fiery furnace. You know, the king ordered some men to go, hey, take him up out of there. But they couldn't. You know, they couldn't. So he calls Abram to come out. What the Most High tells Abram while he was up in there. Obviously he had to tell him, hey, go ahead. Because Abram didn't know if the king was going to kill him or not. You know what I'm saying? With a sword. So mind you, and pay heed to this, that when you're going through something or whatever, not only the Most High can get you through it. Only he can. Nobody can save you. When you're going through the fires of your soul, you have to look upon to the Most High and His only begotten Son and His Word. A lot of us, like I said, are out there, by ourselves, or we think we are. There's no more humans around us that follows us and think like you, and is in the script like you, and is trying to walk the walk like you. Only thing you can do is call upon the Most High while you're going through the fires of your soul. We're gonna that's gonna be with that, brother. Let's go to Psalms 24 and 36, and then we're gonna get into another story. Because ain't nothing new up under the sun. What Abraham went through, some other brothers they went through as well. And what were their thoughts? How was their reaction, prior to being thrown up in there? If you allow yourself to be overcome with uncertainties, if you allow yourself to be overcome with doubt, if you allow yourself to be overcome with fear, if Abraham would have allowed all that or whatever, not, we wouldn't be here today. Yeah. It's a mental process as well.
Definitely.
It's a spiritual process. You need that spirit of the Most High in order for you to even think that way.
You're sure right, because if Abraham would have doubted, his seeds wouldn't be multiplied. We would not even exist.
You hear me?
You hear me? He hadn't even had one child at that point.
Yeah.
Nah. So we go to first we go to what? Psalms 24. Yeah.
I'm gonna start at 1.
Go ahead, Bond.
Book of Psalms, 24th chapter, verse 1. The earth is the Lord's, and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein. For He hath founded it upon the seas, and established it upon the floods. Who shall ascend unto the hill of the Lord?
Who shall ascend? Go ahead.
Or who shall stand in His holy place? He that have clean hands.
He that has what?
Clean hands. And a pure heart.
And a what?
And a pure heart.
And a pure mind. A pure mind. Remember what Paul said. No matter what going on or whatnot, I'm gonna follow Christ. I'm gonna follow the Lord. It's easier said than done. By reading it and whatnot, we can say, yeah, sure. But when the devil punch you in your stomach and kick you in your balls, that's when you have to have that belief, Brian. That's when you have to have that belief. That's when you have to stand firm on the only thing that you can stand firm on. And it's the chief cornerstone, Yahweh Shah HaMashiach.
That's right.
Most definitely. Yahoo.
Continue, brother.
Verse 4. He that hath clean hands and a pure heart, who have not lifted up his soul unto vanity.
Who did what?
Not lifted up his soul unto vanity, nor sworn deceitfully.
Vanity. Another concept of idol, of a god, vain. You could be thinking about yourself. Yeah, I'm this and I'm that. You putting yourself before God. But what happens, when your soul goes through the fire? Who are you going to call upon? The first thing that an atheist will say, if you sit next to an atheist, and y'all plane is about to go down and crash and burn, mark my words.
God!
He gonna say, God help me.
Lord!
Yeah, he ain't gonna be calling them Ghostbusters.
Nah.
You gonna call them Ghostbusters.
Nah. Lord help me.
I bet.
That's the first thing that he's gonna do. And then the second thing, he probably holds your hand. But is that it, brother?
Now we're gonna go to 6.
Go ahead.
He shall receive the blessings from the Lord, and righteousness from the God of his salvation. This is the generation of them that seek him, that seek thy face, O Yahweh. Selah.
Selah. Selah.
Selah.
Seek the face of the Lord while you're going through your fires, while your soul is going through it. Seek the face of the Lord. Seek his face. Get into the word. When things are not going well with you and stuff like that, yeah, pray. No doubt. Pray. Read the script. However, there's certain things, and you guys know what I'm talking about, because we ain't nothing new up under the sun. Y'all know what I'm talking about. when you're asleep and you don't even want to dream. You wake up and everything is just quiet. But that burning, you can hear the cracklings of the fire within inside your own soul. What do you do? Do you crawl up under your bed? Get you a little night light? So what are you gonna do? You go get your night light, crawl up under there and be woe is me? Or are you gonna stand up?
Yo.
Are you gonna stand up? Stand above the below. And stand with the Most High and His only begotten Son.
Most definitely.
You know, you have to believe. You have to believe that one, you are a Hebrew. That two, that you are a Hebrew Israelite. And the only way you could be a Hebrew Israelite, a true Hebrew Israelite, is through your mind. And when you go through whatever you're going through, brothers and sisters, know this, that what Paul said is what you should be standing on.
Most definitely. What did he say? He said, no matter, ain't no creature, ain't no distress, ain't no trial, ain't no tribulation, ain't nothing. Nothing is going to keep me from abandoning. Nothing's going to make me leave my post. I'm going to keep the charge. I'm going to stay with the Lord. You know what I'm saying? And like bro, like you were saying, though, that's better said than done, because everybody talk that good talk until it's time to walk, boy. You see a lot of soldiers, a lot of so-called soldiers falling behind.
Get weak in the knees. Let's go to Daniel 3, 1 through 11 real quick, brother.
3, 1 through 11.
Again, brothers and sisters, going through fire of the soul. You know, going through the fire of the soul. Ain't nothing new up under the sun, y'all. Ain't nothing new up under the sun. What you going through, somebody else is going through it as well. You know. However, how are you going to deal with it? You know, we can't worry about, you know what I'm saying, how other people deal with things and stuff like that, or whatever the case may be. How are you going to deal with it? Was Abraham worried about, you know, all those other little children and stuff like that? Like, dang, I wish I had an icy while he was up in that fiery furnace. Was he worried about that? Was he even thinking about that? No. His mind and his thoughts was focusing on, you know, the Most High. And that's what we have to do. He's our only beacon. Go ahead, brother.
All right, where we going?
Daniel chapter 3, verse 1 through 11.
All right, the book of Daniel, chapter 3, verse 1. And Nebuchadnezzar the king made an image of gold, whose height was three score cubits, and the breadth thereof 6 cubits. And he set it up in the plain of Dura, in the province of Babylon. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king sent to gather together the princes, the governors, and the captains, and the judges, and the treasurers, and the counselors, and the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the provinces to come to the dedication of the image which Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up.
So Nebuchadnezzar, you know, the king of Babylon, he sacked Jerusalem, basically put us in slavery. He had a dream. Our brother Daniel, you know, shouts out to Daniel Solomon, brother Jacob as well. Rest of you Hebrews out here too, you know what I'm saying? Love y'all. He had a dream, and when he woke up from that dream, he was troubled. So Daniel gave him the definition of his dream. And then Nebuchadnezzar takes it upon himself to build a tall statue. Let's find out what else happens.
Verse 3. Then the princes and the governors and the captains and the judges and the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the provinces were gathered together unto the dedication of the image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. And they stood before the image that Nebuchadnezzar had set up. Then a herald cried aloud, to you it is commanded, O people, nations, and languages, that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, and flute, and harp, and sackbut, and pastry, and, how you say that word? Dulcimer, and all the kinds of music, ye fall down, and ye worship the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king hath set up. And whoso falleth not down and worship, shall the same hour be cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace.
Do what? They gonna do what?
Be cast into the midst of the fire of the burning fiery furnace. Therefore, at that time, when all the people heard the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, pastry, and all the kinds of music, all the people and nations and languages fell down and worshipped the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up.
Idol. So now there's a decree going out. Hey, when y'all hear this music, we don't want y'all dancing, doing the stanky leg and stuff like that. No, we want to see
bowing and worship,
butts and elbows. That's it. We just want to see you on your knee, bowing. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 8. Wherefore at the time the certain Chaldeans came near and accused the Jews. They spake and said to the king Nebuchadnezzar, O king, live forever. Thou, O king, have made a decree, and every man that shall hear the sound of the cornet, the flute, the harp, the sackbut, the pastry, the psaltery, and the seamer, and all kinds of music shall fall down and worship the golden image. And whoso falleth not down and worship it, that he shall be cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace.
So now they go with some more snitches. You know what I'm saying? Some more people that want to go tell on somebody. Oh look, Nebuchadnezzar, them Jews over there, they ain't bowing down, sir. They ain't bowing down, king. You done made this decree. Ain't you gonna throw them in a fiery furnace? So this is a decree to bow down to some idols. Mind you, idols is not just idols that you see. It could be idols in your mind. It could be other gods that you have put before the Most High. Go ahead, brother. Let's go down. No, we're gonna jump down to 20.
Hey, you know what's crazy about the situation though? The seed of Abraham, his descendants, are right back in the very land that he was thrown to the fire.
Yeah.
It's the same land. They back as slaves now. Abraham was called out that land.
Yeah, the Chaldeans.
They in Chaldea, but they in Babylon. Chaldea.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So they in the very land that he was thrown into the fiery furnace in. What? Probably 1,000 years earlier. They right back as his descendants as slaves. You feel me? And got to stand on it once again. They got notice it got to do with an idol.
Again.
An idol again.
An idol, a king.
Yeah.
In a fiery furnace.
That's like Nimrod.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So nothing new. There's nothing new up under the sun, y'all. There's nothing new up under the sun. So whatever y'all going through, you know what I'm saying? Don't think that you're the only person, you're the first person on this planet to go through it.
And that also lets you know, man, Israelites have a problem with them damn idols, man.
Yes, sir.
Where I'm jumping to?
20 to 26.
All right, verse 20, same chapter, y'all. Daniel 4, verse 20. The tree.
Daniel 3.
My bad, y'all. Verse 20. Verse 20, right?
Yes, sir.
It says, and he commanded the most mighty men that were in his army, to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and to cast them into the burning fiery furnace.
And to do what?
To cast them in the burning fiery furnace. Then these men were bound in their coats, their hosen, and their hats, and in their other garments, and were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace.
So they was geared up. They had on everything. You know what I'm saying? They was out there, doing what they do. But they was geared up. They didn't get naked. They didn't, anything of that nature. They had on full garments. Go ahead.
Verse 22. Therefore, because the king's commandment was urgent, and the furnace exceeding hot, the flame of the fire slew those men that took up Shadrach, Meshach, and the bad Negro.
That's right.
And these three men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down, bound into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king was astonished, and rose up in haste, and spake and said unto his counselors, did not we cast 3 men bound into the midst of the fire?
What did he ask them?
Did not we cast 3 men bound into the midst of the fire? Then answered and said unto the king, true, O king. He answered and said, lo, I see 4 men loose, walking in the midst of the fire, and they have not no hurt, and form, of the fourth is like the Son of God. Then Nebuchadnezzar came near to the mouth of the burning fiery furnace and spake and said, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, ye servants of the Most High God, ye servants of the Most High God. Notice they all once the miracle go, they now they want to always now they want to get praised.
They want to get praised.
Come forth and come hither. Then Shadrach, Meshach, and the bad Negro came forth out of the midst of the fire.
All right. We're going to drop that right there. So as you can see, there's nothing new up under the sun. You know, when Shadrach, Meshach, and a bad Negro, when they heard that beat playing, that music playing, and they seen everybody, you know, bowing down and worshiping an idol, they was already confirmed in their hearts, in their minds. We Hebrews. The Most High didn't tell us, you know what I'm saying, to be doing all this.
Right.
They already had it in their mind. We ain't about to bow down to this idol.
And notice it was to the death. You know what I'm saying? Even when death put on the table, you still got to keep charge.
You know, and notice this though, as I'm gonna piggyback what my brother said, it's to the death. Y'all know, you know what I'm saying, sometimes when y'all be going through what y'all going through, y'all know y'all be wanting just to die. Oh, let it stop. No, I can't take it no more. I just want to die. Y'all notice. However, what are you going to do when you're going through your fiery furnace of the soul? How do you act? Who do you call upon? Who's going to deliver you? Mind you, you can't have no idols. You can't have no idols bound down to no idols, and you can't be bound down to no idols within inside your own mind, within inside your own in your own thought process. You can't give something that has nothing to do with anything, put it above the Most High, no matter what it is, whether it's your mother, your father, your husband, your wife, your children. Nothing comes before the Most High. And it says also, it is written, if something offends you, cut it off. If you're allowing something to take you away from your inheritance, it's easy to come off my lips that I can say that you're foolish, because I'm talking about somebody else. However, when it's upon me now, do I want to say, oh, I'm going through something? Do I want to say, oh, help me, Lord? Or do I let the fire burn the things that was binding me? Let's go to 1 Peter 5.
Yeah, that's something deep. It burnt the cords that he was bound to, but it didn't burn the garments that was covering his nakedness. It burnt the cords that had him bound, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta let that fire burn them burdens. You gotta embrace it.
Yeah, let that fire burn them strongholds.
Yup, straight up. What we going, Hebrew?
1 Peter 5, verse 8 to 11. Going through the fires of the soul, y'all. I can't speak of this, you know what I'm saying, if I wasn't, if I hadn't gone through it, or if I wasn't going through it. I couldn't speak on this if the Most High didn't put it upon my mind, my heart, to share with the worldwide assembly. I appreciate the fact that the Most High does allow us to go through certain tests in our lives. So when that one test comes, we can be able to pass it. Count it joy, y'all. Count it joy. Yesterday, while we was eating and being married, I said something or whatever and not, and my brother Malachi and Yaqid, they just started laughing. I thought to myself, what the hell is they laughing at? And then I had to remember. It clicked. I had a revelation. Count it all joy. I'm like, these guys, they really don't give a fuck about nothing. If it ain't about the Most High.
About the Most High.
Man, y'all, on a real, I'm gonna speak plain. I have to realize that, man. Who cares about what's going on? Who cares about what's going on in this world? It's white folks' business. Who cares about what's going on in my personal life? That's the Most High's business. Only thing that I can do is keep my hands to the plow. Only thing that you can do is keep your hands to the plow. Don't look back. Keep going forward. Stick to the script. And when you're going through it, and you don't think nobody's around, and nobody can hear you, cry out to the Most High. Fall on your face. Rent your clothes.
Rent that beard.
Rent your beard. Then get your ass up. And do what my brother Joab did. Life is easy. It's an easy walk. When you just follow the orders. It's an easy walk.
Maccabee. Check the top of that refrigerator.
It's an easy walk when you follow. It's an easy walk for a soldier when you follow the orders. Go ahead, brother.
Alright, so look, we in 1 Peter's. Where you start? Verse 5, chapter 5?
Chapter 5, verse 8.
Yeah, most definitely. Verse 8. Alright, y'all, we in 1 Peter's chapter 5, verse 8. Brothers and sisters. It says, be sober. Be vigilant. Because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion.
A what?
A roaring lion. Walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. Who resist steadfast.
Do what?
Whom resist steadfast.
So resist the devil and stand firm.
That's right.
Yeah. Yahoo.
Resist them. Because there's gonna be thoughts and stuff that's going through your mind while you in this fire. While the fire is burning. While the fire is burning, whatever got your ass bound. Whatever got you bound.
And people are saying, it says, whom resist steadfast in the faith. So it's letting you know why this fire burning. You have to be convicted and really believe within yourself that this fire is not going to destroy you. It's not going to consume you. So now you have to turn this consuming fire into the same fire that is upon the throne of glory. You know what I'm saying? You got to turn into that fire. It's two different types of fire. You have a consuming fire and you have a destructive fire. You know what I'm saying? You have to change the destructive fire into a consuming fire. And like you were saying earlier, use that fire to burn these burdens, to burn these problems that is within yourself that you're going through. It makes sense. Verse 9 again. Who resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren.
And your what?
In your brethren that are in the world.
So basically y'all already know what it is. Y'all done heard it. We don't, sometimes, you know what I'm saying, edification don't even need to be said. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know exactly what it is. Your brethrens. I know there's somebody out there, you know what I'm saying, that knows what I'm talking about.
Going through the same thing that we've been through.
Put a 7 up in here if you understand what I'm talking about. Mally, you got a script for me?
Brother Jake all day, boy.
But y'all know that your brethren is going through the same thing. Go ahead.
Verse 10. But the God of all grace, who have called us unto the eternal glory.
He did what?
But the God of all grace, who have called us unto his eternal glory.
Eternal glory. Eternal glory. Whatever you're going through, whatever you're going through, Shebrew, it ain't gonna be for eternity. It ain't. Know this. Take courage. Stand firm. Go ahead, brother.
Bahamashiach Yahushua. After that,
thank you, brother.
Ye have suffered a while. Make you perfect.
Make you what?
Make you perfect.
Make you what?
Perfect.
Make you perfect. That's the only way. When fire and brimstone comes down, that's the only way you gonna survive. Is if you perfect. And we ain't talking about, you know what I'm saying, the outer cup, Power Ranger looking ass Hebrews. We ain't talking about that. We're talking about the inner cup.
Yeah.
You have to be perfect. It has to be clean with inside your mind.
Pure hands, pure heart.
Go ahead, brother.
Established. Established. Strengthen.
Yes, sir.
Settle you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's go to Luke. Let's go to Luke 22, 38 through 46. Yes, sir, y'all.
Like the prophet Elijah, man. You feel me? He just did a mighty work. Evident the Most High was with him. He did. Over 450 prophets, false prophets got put down. He summoned fire from that throne of the Heavenly Father.
See?
Right?
2 different types of fire.
And the very next breath, he running from Jezebel. Like, I'm the only one left, only soldier left you got, Lord. The Most High like, man, look, stop all that moping.
Yeah.
Lip hanging out.
Yeah.
Feel me? I got 7,000 soldiers ain't never bowed to that idol. You think you by yourself? Most High always got remnants and soldiers off in the cut.
Ducked off somewhere. Ready for the war cry.
Waiting for that order.
Yes, sir.
That business, man.
Yes, sir. Y'all.
Let us know we never alone, man.
Yes,
You know,
sir.
you may feel lonely or alone in certain parts of it, but it just makes you better and stronger. Every part of this life, you're not gonna be convenient. It's not gonna be convenient for you.
That's right.
Go through it to where you inconvenient. You feel me? To where it seems as if it don't pay off to be in this way of life. You
Yeah.
feel me? And you gotta weather that. You get through it. And then you come out shining stronger. You know, cheese and a little taste. Like, oh, that was it.
Yeah.
You feel me? Most High know what he got you going through. Just, you know what I'm saying? Boots to the ground. Just be unmovable with it.
And that's how you be established in the faith. You got to get established. Now you battle ready. You know what I'm saying? You've been tested. You approved.
Yeah, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Y'all keep tell you, like, nigga, all type of fiery darts was coming at us a couple years ago, boy.
Man.
Everything you can imagine, boy.
Me and Brett was getting drugged through the mud.
That's
through
right.
the mud.
All type of crazy accusations. We hobos, we ain't nothing. And you look up, we stayed the course, kept teaching. You look up, brothers got cribs, brothers got increasing families, brothers got vehicles. You dig? We could have went left field and got to crying about what somebody else was saying. You understand? But we was like, a little later for that. We gonna keep doing what we called to do and watch the naysayers scatter.
Yeah.
Man, bro, by the next week,
We hear
the
nothing.
next day we got hired doing something major.
Next day we had a new contract.
New contract.
Next week we ain't heard nothing about all the people that was lying on us.
Yeah.
Like we literally set up a table in the midst of our enemies.
Yeah.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
You know, so Yahoo, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, sometimes relationships dissolve.
What it
You know what I'm
is?
saying? We done been through that too.
Yeah.
You think, well, he's in the truth all these years, and he's been married the equal amount of times. You feel me? Like, he been
No.
12 years. He had him a wife 12 years.
Nah.
That ain't the case.
No. Not at all.
That's not the case.
Not at all.
You know, you aim for it to be what it is, but the fact of the matter is, your relationships dissolve in this thing too.
Yeah.
Everybody ain't right. Some people will come around you and act like they down. You feel me? Just to see if they can control you.
Right.
You feel me? Drop their guards real quick. You feel me? So it ain't nothing to it, man. Certain things.
What you teaching about? Everybody ain't prepped and made for that fire. That's just what it is.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? Because some cats is down just because everything going cool. Like, nah, you feel me? You got you nice little gig. You know what I'm saying? You pay your taxes every year. You know, you got married according to the government. You've been comfortable for the past 20 some odd years. You dig? And then all this stuff start hitting for real. Nobody's ready because they've been comfortable. Dang, you feel me? For fire ain't comfortable.
No, it ain't.
Fire ain't comfortable, boy. You feel me? It really make you do some soul searching.
Most definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Damn, am I going out? Let me make my right corrections because I know I'm off somewhere, right? But I know I ain't no abomination off.
Yeah.
You feel me? I know I could have played a certain situation better, been more wise and made a decision like that. But I ain't no abomination cracking over here.
That's right.
So I can't do nothing but get better. And I ain't denied the Most High or His Son.
Right.
So you still banging. You feel me? You not in bed with sin.
Right.
You banging against it.
That's right. That's right.
All praise.
All praise.
All praises. Luke 22, verse 38. We got one more verse after this, and I'll let y'all go on and do y'all thing.
You said Luke 22, brother?
Yes,
Verse
sir.
38?
Yes, sir.
We in the book of Luke, chapter 22, verse 38. And they said, Lord, behold, here are 2 swords. And he said unto them, it is enough. And he came out and went as he was wont to the Mount of Olives, and his disciples also followed him. And when he was at the place, he also said unto them, pray that ye enter not into temptation.
So the Most High, Christ came and his disciples came to him and said, hey, we got 2 swords. Now, mind you, that dispels the thought pattern that Christ was soft and weak. He was
right. His men that was with him traveled with swords.
Yeah.
Right.
You feel me? And a sword can be used for many things. War, cutting something.
Yeah.
You feel me? Handling a wild beast that run up.
Yeah.
Whatever. But the fact of the matter is they were strapped.
Yeah.
Just like a gun can be used.
Yeah.
If anything. War to protect what it is or whatever. Excellent scripture. You know what I'm saying? Something that don't get read in the Sunday church.
Yeah.
That's right.
And then he said, he's like, look, that's enough.
That's enough.
That's all we need.
He told him, if you read up, he told him, look, sell your coat.
Yeah.
That's how revolutionary the Messiah was. He told me, man, it got so real, you sell y'all, if you have to, take the coat off your back, sell that so you can buy you a sword.
Straight up.
You see, that's real right there.
Yeah.
They went and got 2.
Yeah.
Oh, we got 2 swords. You know, man, that's enough, man.
All right.
How that business.
Go ahead, Brian.
Verse 41. And he was withdrawn from them about a stone cast, and he kneeled down and prayed, saying, Father, if thou be willing, remove this cup from me.
Do what?
Remove this cup from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but thine be done.
So Christ is going into the Garden of Gethsemane, you know what I'm saying? This is right before he about to, get crucified. He's already perceiving that, he's already knowing that this is about to happen to him, his boys tell him, hey, we got 2 swords, you know what I mean? He's like, okay, that's enough. He tell him to post right here, you know what I mean? He goes off a little ways and
he goes in his closet.
And goes in his closet. That's right, brother. And he prayed to the Father. He was like, hey, man, look, if it be thy will, please remove this cup from me. Just like how, we be praying and stuff like that. Lord, please take this pain away. Lord, please take this fire away. Please. However, how do you know once you get through it, once you become a true Hebrew Israelite in your mind, you get through it, you get refined.
That's right.
You get refined like how gold is refined in the fire and all those impurities come up. And all it is pure gold. So Christ was up in the Garden of Gethsemane praying to the Father, but he didn't lose faith. Even though he knew he's not even going through it yet, but he knows that he's about to go through it.
Right. I mean, even them diamonds, these rubies, any stone that you pull raw from the side of a mountain, it's a big old brick. In order to make that polish and what we were, it literally had to be polished. It literally had to be tumbled. And then, I'm talking about the amount of pressure you got to put on these stones to bring them down to stuff like this.
Yeah.
So even these beautiful things that we get in our vain glorifying in have to be made with pressure. So anything that's perfect, anything that's beautiful, anything that you perceive to be good had to been tempted, had to been put in fire, or had to been pressurized.
That's right.
This is what it is. Anything.
If not, you've never been tested. Like you go to school, but you never take a test.
Right.
How they know you don't learn something?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
How you gonna be great? How you gonna be great? You don't even came. How you gonna be great?
You ain't even been tested.
Right.
You understand?
Go ahead, bro.
You can nail down to a sword too. When they forge swords,
Yeah.
take them out of steel. It's just constantly like
Man, bing, 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 bing.
They take it,
Yeah.
heat it up, throw it in some water.
Gotta bang it
heat
again.
up bang it some more. Till you get this perfect Kill Bill sword.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Most definitely, brother. Most definitely.
Great.
Where we at now, hey, bro?
We continue.
Alright,
He was on
verse 34. Verse 44. Verse 44. Right, no, verse 43. And there appeared an angel unto him from heaven, strengthening him.
So when you going through what you're going through, it might not be over with. However, the Most High is going to send somebody. He's going to send a messenger. He's going to send a brother. He's going to send a sister. That brother and the sister might just say 1 or 2 words, and it might strengthen you just for that moment where you thought you was going to break. Go ahead, read on, brother.
44. And being in a agony.
He was what?
And being in agony, he prayed more earnestly.
He did what?
He prayed more earnestly.
When you start feeling them flames, pray harder. Pray harder, brothers and sisters. When you start feeling those flames, when you're in agony, pray even harder. Go ahead, brother.
And his sweat was as it were great drops of blood falling down to the ground. And when he rose up from prayer and was come to his disciples, he found them sleeping for sorrow.
He said they were sleeping. So basically, he was really pretty much by himself. He asked them to, hey, sit here and pray. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go off and pray as well. You know,
knowing a Mashiach, he probably was in that garden for a minute, hollering at Abba. He probably was out there for a while.
That was also, man. That lets you know everybody need a spot to go duck off and meditate.
Yeah,
that was the Messiah spot, man. The Garden of Gethsemane.
Yeah,
that's where he hung out at.
Yeah,
that's why when Judas
betrayed, Judas know where he's at.
Like, man, I know where he be at.
Yeah,
because that's where he to get away from the ills of society. You feel me? To get away from all the hell. That you need time to relax, meditate. Let off a little steam, and that's where he used to go meditate and pray. Right, his spot. Notice it's the garden. There was speculation years ago that the Garden of Gethsemane was attached to the Garden of Eden. You know what I'm saying? Just something to throw out there.
Gotcha.
Know what I'm saying? That's out there too, research wise. Like, why was always hanging out in the Garden of Gethsemane? Could that be?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, questions.
Entrance like back into the garden. You know, speculation type.
We're going to read to 46, brother.
All right, verse 46.
Get your own personal Garden of Gethsemane, man.
That's right, y'all. Y'all heard that. Y'all heard that.
Get the hell away from the world if you got to.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Verse 46. And he said unto them, while ye sleep, rise and pray, lest ye enter into temptation.
So why sleep? While you sleep, rise and pray, unless you enter into temptation. Why sleep on the fact that, yeah, you know you're going through something, but you can't overcome it with no liquor. You can't overcome it, you know what I'm saying, with no she-brew. You can't overcome it, you know what I'm saying, with nothing.
Right, no weed, no nothing.
You know, you have to pray to overcome that, because while you're going through that, that's when temptation is also coming too. Temptation to go left. Temptation to do something that if you was in your right mind, you wouldn't do. You wouldn't do. So we know that Christ, you know what I'm saying, went through it. And what did he do? He prayed and he prayed. And when he was in agony, he prayed. What did the other brothers do that we read about? They rent their clothes. They rent their beard. What did the other brothers do when they got thrown into the furnace?
They had faith.
They had to have faith, because if they didn't have faith, they wouldn't have done what they did to get thrown into the furnace in the first place.
You see what happened to Abraham's brother?
Yeah, he was shaky on shaky ground from day one. Let's go to this is the last the second to the last one. We're gonna go to Zechariah 13 and 9. Again, brothers and sisters, going through fire of the soul. Going through fire of the soul. What can you do? What do you do? How do you fare? Are you going through it right now? May this lesson, may this cry out from one of your brothers help you. Zechariah 13 and 9, brother.
Book of Zechariah, chapter 13, verse 9. And I will bring the third part through the fire.
He will do what?
Bring the third part into the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord is my God.
So he's gonna bring a third of us through the fire. Two-thirds of us getting killed straight off the bat. And just because you didn't get killed or whatever or not, you know what I'm saying, doesn't mean that you ain't gonna go through the fire. That don't mean that that you skipped and you skated through. Nah. It says right here in Zechariah 13:9. Will you read that again, brother?
It says, and I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined.
Yes, sir.
And I will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them.
On whose name?
On my name, and I will hear them.
So they're going through the fire. They're gonna be refined, and they calling on whose name?
Yahweh.
They gotta be calling on His name while they going through the fire. They gotta be calling on His name even after they go through the fire.
And notice he said third. That's the remnant. So in order for you to get that kingdom spot, you gotta go through the fire.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You got to.
Yes, sir.
You gotta pass the test. This is what it is.
Yes, sir. This last verse, y'all, we'll be up out of here. 1 Peter 7 through 9. 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 7 through 9. Good looking out, brother.
Oh, bro.
Got two requests too. You know what I'm saying? After you finish yours.
Yes, sir.
One in 1 Peter, one in the Apostle.
Okay.
Sirach chapter 2.
You said 1 Peter 1, 7 through 9?
Yeah. 1 Peter 1, 7 through 9. Go ahead, brother.
It says, 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 7 through 9. That the trial of your faith, being much more precious than of gold that perisheth, though it be tried with fire.
Your faith is more precious than gold. And if I'm not mistaken, did it say that the trial of your faith?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what it says.
The trial of your faith is more precious than gold.
Yep, the genuineness of your faith.
Go ahead.
So that the trial, genuineness of your faith, being much more precious than gold that perisheth, through it be tried with fire, might be found unto praise and honor and glory at the appearing of Hamashiach Yahushua.
So when you're going through something, just know that is only the only thing that it is doing is breaking off those unneeded corners, edges, however you want to call it, off your mind. These are the things that you don't need. These are the impurities that's in your mind. These are the idolatry thoughts that you have in your mind. This is the wickedness that you have in your mind. When you go through the fire, it bleeds all that out.
Right.
It either bleeds all that out, or you just go crack. You go to break. Remember, the devil is like a roaring lion, seeking on who he may destroy. Don't be weak in faith, brothers and sisters.
That's right.
Don't be weak in faith, even when you come upon fiery trials.
Straight up.
Let's go to 9 on that one right there. Verse 7, 8, and 9. Yeah, 7 through 9.
Verse 8. Whom having not seen, ye love, in whom though now ye see him not, yet believing ye rejoice with joy unspeakable and full of glory.
Unspeakable joy. Unspeakable joy. Meaning that is unspeakable. You know, what type of joy do we have here on this in this walk right now, on this earth? Getting a bunch of some money that really don't mean nothing. Going buy a brand new pair of shoes. What? Going to the zoo and looking at animals. What? Movies? You know what I'm saying? Chilling with your woman, you know what I mean? Drinking on some yayin. You know what? These are unspeakable joys that if you go through what you're going through in life, and you cross over both physically and mentally, these are the joys that you go have. They're unspeakable. We don't even know what it is. But know that whatever you're going on in your life right now, whatever type of dark cloud that's over you right now, or that's even inside your own body, whatever spirit or idolatry spirit that's inside your own body, you have to fast. You have to pray to get that spirit about you. Go ahead, read, brother.
Verse 9. Receiving the end of your faith, even the salvation of your souls.
Ooh. All praises to the Most High Power. You said you would need
Sirach chapter 2, 1 through 12, and then that 1 Peter 4, 12. 1 Peter 4, 12,
look it up.
like 9 to 14. More about the fiery trial.
You said 1 Peter 4.
Yes, sir. 1 Peter 4, like 12 on down.
You gonna read that?
I'm reading both of them.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's your lesson, boy.
Yeah, that's kind.
1 Peter 4, 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 12. Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you.
Don't be surprised, y'all. Don't be surprised, y'all. Don't get caught unaware. You know, please don't. Cause it happens to the best of us. You know, you learning that you Hebrew, you excited. You know what I mean? Your family saying that you in a cult and stuff like that, and even then you don't. Whatever it is, what it is. And then you thinking that I'm strong enough now. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? Guess what? What do you do when the devil comes and punch you in your stomach and kick you in your balls? Don't get caught unaware. Don't be like, why is this happening to me? Look for it. Be expecting it. And when you see it coming, open the door. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 13, but rejoice inasmuch as ye are partakers of Hamashiach suffering.
That's right.
That when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy. If ye be reproached for the name of Hamashiach, happy are ye, for the spirit of glory and of God rested upon you. And their part he is evil spoken of, but on your part he is glorified.
Ooh, all praises.
Yeah, all praises. But let none of you suffer as a murderer.
As a what?
As a murderer.
So if you there's two different types of suffering. There's either judgment, you know what I'm saying, or a test. Okay, if you went out there and stole something or whatever, now your ass is sitting up in jail, you know, and the only thing that you eating is some top ramen noodles.
Suffering by your own hands.
You know, you're suffering by your own hands, and then now you in jail. Your woman left you, you know what I'm saying, and all that. That's because of what you did. Straight up. You know, we ain't talking about that, partner. You know, we talking about you being out there. You got your hands to the plow, and then your woman gone, your children gone, your mama done left you. They talking about this, they saying this about you and all that about you. If you suffering because of that, and because you working, you doing kingdom work, hey man, it is what it is.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, Satan got that okay to come hit that head.
It ain't no thing, man. Like everybody go through it. You know what I'm saying? But you can't be the one that say, you know, times got hard. He went left field. You know, we ain't seen him.
I had to fall back. I had to fall back, bro.
Yeah, I know brothers personally.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Brothers has been around longer than me. You dig? When I first came around, I seen a sister give a brother an ultimatum. Boy.
A what?
I guess it's called an ultimatum.
An ultimatum.
I don't know what the hell it is. I don't get those.
Yeah, that's right.
But, hey, she sure issued one to him. Mm-hmm. You feel me? And we ain't seen him in over 10 years.
It must have been it's either this or me.
She said at the Passover that nigga. It's either these niggas or me. And she stormed out the door. You know?
He followed.
I probably 2 years in the truth.
He followed.
Like, oh yeah, he went following.
Yeah.
We ain't seen him since.
Wow.
Real talk.
Verse 15. But let none of you suffer as a murderer, or as a thief, or as a evildoer, or as a busybody in other man's matter.
Yeah, stay out of people's business.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Stay out of people's business. You want to get in their business or whatever, whatnot, pray to the Father. Pray to the Father. Pray to the Father. That's what you do. Stay out of people's business, man. Go ahead.
Verse 16. Yet if any man suffer as a Christian, follower of Christ.
Follow Christ. That's what I was talking about earlier. That's what I was talking about earlier. We ain't up under the Christianity.
Put that out there.
You know what I'm saying? But go ahead.
Let him not be ashamed.
No.
But let him glorify God on this behalf. For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of God.
At the house of who?
At the house of God. And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of God?
So we gotta go through it first. You know, we have to get judged first. by us being judged, by us going through what we're going through, we can be able to give out good examples, good advice through our own personal experience and through this book. However, imagine what's going on with them cats, you know what I'm saying, that don't even believe in God.
Oof.
Imagine.
18. And if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear?
Now,
wherefore?
Now, excuse me, brother.
No, go ahead.
Now, it says in verse 18, and if the righteous scarcely be saved.
Ooh.
That right there, brothers and sisters, that's a hard pill to swallow, man.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Mind you, we're up under Romans. We up under that same vibration of Romans 8, 28 through 28 on down. You know, if you're in that mindset, you have a possibility. There's a possibility. That's the only thing I can say, because from what this saying, it's saying if the righteous scarcely be saved.
No doubt.
Go ahead.
Verse 19. Wherefore, let them that suffer according to the will of God commit the keeping of their souls to him in well-doing.
And what?
In well-doing, as unto a faithful creator.
That's right.
That's right, y'all. That's right. We got one more script in Apocrypha.
What you was talking about, you bro?
Sirach chapter 2.
Sirach chapter 2.
12. Prepare your soul for temptation.
Most definitely.
Yes, sir, y'all. Going through fire of the soul. The things that our brothers that we have, you know, that we can read upon. You know what I'm saying? And then through our own personal experience.
Most definitely.
You know, some of us, you know, we do have a strong base around us. And then some of us don't. You know, some of us don't. Even if you do have a strong base around you, the only person, you know, saying that you can call upon is the Most High, is Christ.
Yeah.
You know, if you by yourself, the only person that you can call upon. If you by yourself, the only person that you can call upon is the Most High, is Christ. You know, and you can always go to your closet, man. Go to your closet, man.
Go to that garden.
Go to that garden, man. Put your face in the ground. Humble yourself. Get rid of them idols. Those lusts. Those thoughts of you being bigger than what you really think that you are. Money, clothes, all that. Get rid of all that. We Hebrews. This world ain't our world. Ain't our home. We just passing through this piece of crap. And yeah, we getting hit on all sides and whatnot. But we're passing through still. Don't sit down, you know what I'm saying, and put your feet up and drink on some iced tea.
Yeah, we're visitors, man.
You know, I'm just here to visit.
We're
you know what I'm
visitors.
saying? We ain't no lifers.
Passing through.
Passing through. Go ahead, brother.
We in Ecclesiastes, book of Sirach, chapter 2, verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
How do you prepare your soul for temptation?
Preparation.
How do you do that? You know what I'm saying? Especially if something comes out of left field. How do you prepare for that?
He just told it. He's like, you come to serve the Lord, know that it's coming. No temptation is coming.
Go ahead, man.
Verse 2. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure. And
that's
constantly
what you do.
endure.
That's what you do. Set your heart right. Set your mind right. Get your mind right, Woody. Go ahead.
And make not haste in the time of trouble.
So that's basically what, in a time of trouble, you know what I mean? What? Don't be hastened to react. Don't be hastened to what? To what?
Lay back, sit back. And your business, endure.
Go ahead, brother.
Verse 3. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully.
That's right.
Take cheerfully. That's what they was doing. They was doing that last night. They was laughing. I understood that now. It's a revelation. Laugh. Even though you know you damn well want to cry.
I know you say take it cheerfully.
Take it cheerfully, man.
Luke 6:2, like when they separate you from their company and cast your name out as evil for his sake, he say jump for joy.
Yo.
For behold, your reward is great in heaven.
Yeah, I mean, we expect that.
We get out, we be like, nigga. That's right. Tripping off none of this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And be patient when thou art changed to a lower state.
That's right.
That's right.
For gold is tried in the fire, an acceptable man in the furnace of adversity.
That's right.
Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright, and trust in him. Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy. Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy. And go not aside, lest ye fall. Ye that fear the Lord, believe him, and your reward shall not fail. Ye that fear the Lord, hope for good, and for everlasting joy and mercy.
Yes, sir.
Look at the generations of old, and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? Boy, that's a boy. For the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long suffering, and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins, and saveth in the time of affliction. Woe be to fearful hearts. Woe be to fearful hearts and faint hands, and the sinner that goeth two ways.
Oh, praises to the Most High. Yeah, hallelujah.
That's a dagger.
That's a damn dagger, as we say it out here. Y'all, just have no fear. You know what I'm saying? When you're going through the fire of your soul, keep banging, y'all. Keep banging. We ain't got long. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got long.
To the fall of Babylon.
You know, we don't have long. All praises.
All praise. Hey, with that being said, all praise to the Heavenly Father in the name of his only begotten Son. Hey, we accept constructive criticism. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If something we saying ain't adding up, something my brother said ain't adding up, hit that comment board. Let us know what's up. You know what I'm saying? We open to the people. The comment board is open. Y'all family. Yeah. Holla at us.
Yeah.
Shalom.
Shalom, Israelites.